will there be any like because
so.
like why asking this?
Okay, you can see it now, right?
Yes.
So let me give you a recap. Might be you have that in demo, but let me give you the recap. So look here, what is SAP HANA is. Okay, if you look on my screen, there is, say, SAP HANA, the game changer. SAP HANA, the game changer. It also show you like real-time result and rapid value. Right? Why SAP HANA is the game changer? Right? First, let's see what is SAP HANA is. I will give you a quick overview because we already have in a demo. SAP HANA is a high-performance analytical appliance. When we talk about appliance means it is a combination of hardware and software. So it means SAP has an improvement on the hardware side, SAP has an improvement on the software side. I'm just going to skip analytical. Let's go high performance. High performance means it is extremely fast because all data is stored and all operations are executed in the local memory. When we talk about, all operations, all processing, okay, all data storage happening in the local memory means that is happening in the RAM. Right? This is a new concept that's in memory computing. When we talk about analytical, it means it is designed for analyzing the massive quantities of data. Okay. So let me show you how our traditional system works. Our traditional system works like this. Look here, this is the way how our traditional system works, right? We have a single core processor, data is stored on the disk. We have a row storage type of database. We store the data on this is a hard disk. Okay, from hard disk, we bring the data through CPU into the RAM, right? After processing the data, we send the data from RAM back to the hard disk. Okay, so when we read data from this hard disk, bring through CPU into RAM, and after processing, we send the data back into disk. So we are wasting a lot of time in reading and writing the data. Right? What is your hard disk? Your hard disk is a mechanical device. Okay, even it is if you think it's a mechanical spinning device. Right? How SAP HANA works? SAP HANA, okay, this is a RAM. You store data in the RAM. You process data in the RAM. Okay, you perform all operation on the data in the RAM. Okay, you perform all operation on the data in the RAM. Okay, same thing we are doing here, right? We bring the data, after processing, we send the data back into the hard disk. But here the difference in storage is, first storing point is the RAM. Okay, first processing point is the RAM. First operation, if you are performing any calculation, if you are performing any aggregation, if you are performing any planning, okay, all operation you perform on the data within the RAM. Right? The question is, we have this RAM here, we have this RAM here, then what is the difference? This is a new concept that is called IMC, in-memory computing. Okay. This is a simple RAM, but this is not a simple RAM. Inside it has a IMCE. What is IMCE stand for? In-memory computing engine. So we have a complete in-memory computing engine. That is why we are able to store the data in the RAM, we are able to process the data in the RAM, and we are able to perform all operation on the data in the RAM. Why we can't do it here? This is just a simple RAM. It's similar example, I gave you that in the, in the demo. That's if you are driving a car, right? And you are feeling hot, you can turn your air conditioning system on. If you are feeling hot, cold, you can turn your heating system on. When you are feeling darkness, you can turn your lighting system on, and you are driving the car. But if I take out engine from your car, what's going to happen? None of the system going to work. Same thing happening, Inside it has a complete in-memory computing engine. That is why we are able to process everything within the RAM. This is a new concept that is called in-memory computing. Okay, here the next question is, in case of power failure. Okay, so in case of power failure, what gonna happen? Okay, if power is failure, so all the data within the RAM, there's no, it's gonna be gone, right? So in this scenario, it's not only we have a RAM, we have here a permanent, we have a persistent layer. In persistent layer, we have a data volume. Okay, in this data volume, we store data after certain save points, like maybe you can say after a few minutes, we dump the data on this disk. So if something is happening,
you know all these details about my day.
It take about 45 to 50 minutes to come on traffic, so रोज ही होता है ना पता है बॉम्बे में.
okay, if something is happening during this time, right, how we can retrieve the data? If something is happening during this time, we can retrieve the data. We have a log volume here. So we can retrieve the data from the log volume. So there is no loss of data, right? So when we are dealing with the RAM, we have a persistent layer. But the first landing point where the data stored, the first point where we perform all operation on the data, the first point space where we perform all operation on the data, that is the RAM. Okay, that is the new concept that is called in-memory computing. Okay, so what I said so far is clear? Bandip, Abjit, you have any question here?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I'm good. So
Hello?
there's some background noise. I mean.
Yeah, I just muted that.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see what they have the improvement on the hardware side, what they have an improvement on the software side. Okay. Okay, so if you look what we have an improvement on the hardware side. So when SAP bring HANA, they have the improvement on the hardware side. It is a multi-core architecture. Okay, we have a 10 core per CPU. Okay, we have a 10 core per CPU. We have a multi-CPU board, 8 CPU per board. We have a multi-server board. Okay, we have a massive memory setup. You can say it's like 324 and more, 4 terabytes RAM and more. In this scenario, if you look, when something you are processing in the RAM, in the memory, that time your more concern is, okay, with the RAM. So we have a more RAM here, it's a multi-core architecture. So that is, they have the hardware innovation, and SAP has a strong partnership with the hardware vendors. Okay, what they have improvement on the software side. On the software side, okay, the traditional database, how they store the data, they store the data in a row based. How we store data in a row based? Let's see. We store data in a row based like this. This is the first row, we are storing like this. This is the second row, we are storing like this. This is the third row, we are storing like this. This is the fourth, right? So that way we store the data in a row based. Okay, I have to perform aggregation. So if I have to perform aggregation, I have to jump from this memory address to this memory address. I have to jump from this memory address to this memory address. I have to jump from this memory address to this memory address to this memory address. Just imagine if you have a billions of records, right? So to perform aggregation, okay, it will take so much, it will take time, That's why we have a pre-aggregated table, okay, pre-aggregated table and pre-aggregated queue. Okay, pre-aggregated queue. So we have a pre-aggregated table and pre-aggregated queue. In case of SAP HANA? SAP HANA stores data in a row based as well as in a column based. Let's see how we store data in a column based. Like this is the first column. We are storing data like this. That is the second column. Okay, we are storing the data like this. Okay, and this is the third column, So let's see if I have to do aggregation right here. I don't need to jump from one memory address to another memory address. This is because we are storing all in one column. It's with one linear scan. I can do the aggregation. So that's why I don't need aggregation, pre-aggregated table. I don't need pre-aggregated cube. I can create aggregation on the fly. Okay. Even we can perform aggregate, SAP HANA, we can do massive parallel processing. Even we can do massive parallel processing per column. Let me show you what is MPP architecture. So this is clear, right? If in case of, how we process data in form of columnar fashion.
Hey, Sami, one question. So if you go back, anyway, you don't have to go back, but so let's say in the third row, right, we have a dollar sign, we have pound, and we may have different currencies, correct? So let's say if I'm doing aggregation only for dollar value, right? So I have to jump from like 35 to 12, correct?
No, then you have to filter. You are only having, all dollars, right? Correct? Your
So let's say I want a report where I want all dollar value, all pound value, all euro value, etc., etc. So then anyway he has to check, saying that, oh, okay, this is dollar, okay, I pick up 35. So this is dollar, pick up 12. This is dollar, pick up likewise.
But look, your all numerical data saved in a one column, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you are grouping on the base of the currency, right?
Correct.
Right? This report is based on the currency.
Mm-hmm.
But still your data is in a column, in one column, right?
In one column, yeah.
In a numerical column. Okay, let me show you what is MPP. What is in a column? What is a parallel processing, right? Because it's a multi-core architecture. Look here. This is what you're asking. Look here, it is a multi-core architecture, right? Let me first share what is parallel processing. What is parallel processing mean? Okay, suppose if I have to build this wall, right? I can build this wall in a day. Okay. If I have to build the whole wall, it will took me 10 days, right? But if I hire 10 people, I can build the whole wall in one day, right? Okay, if I hire 10 people, I can build the whole wall in one day. What is parallel processing? Let me repeat one more time, I have to build this wall. So in one day, I can build only this part of the wall, right? If I have to build the whole wall, I need 10 days, right? But if I hire 10 people, so I can build the whole wall in one day, right? That is called parallel processing. Let's see, as I said, we store data in a columnar fashion, and this is a multi-core architecture. We can do what is MPP, massive parallel processing per column. So column A can be taken care by core 1. Column B can be taken care by core 2. And column C can be taken care to core 3 and core 4. Right? It's a multi-core architecture, right? So we can perform massive parallel processing per column. MPP, we are processing even per column. That is called MPP architecture, massive parallel processing per column. So these are the some things that we have in SAP HANA. Okay, let's go back with Okay, let's go back. Now, what is analytical? When we are talking about analytical, we have two types of system. We have a OLTP, we have a OLAP system. Just like, you guys are testing, right? When you're testing, you are testing all business application, right? Just like CRM, HR application, right? These are all systems called OLTP system. Suppose this is a HR application, this is a CRM application, Okay, this is like, sales and distribution. Okay, so this is like, your material management. So all these applications, when we build these applications, just like when we have to record all human resource, we have to hire an employee, we have to keep record of their leaves, their benefits, their training, their evaluation, all those things, and their payroll. We manage everything within the HR system. So when we hire an employee, we follow a certain business process. Okay, and then we store the information. So when we build these applications, the basic architecture of these applications, they are highly normalized. When we talk about highly normalized, means they have a more table, okay, less column. So these applications, when we build these applications, the basic purpose of these applications is to capture the information, right? HR we use to record human resource information. CRM, all client, relationship management system, we record all client communication. With sales and distribution, we record all sales and distribution information, and for material, all related to material. So basic purpose of these systems, they are right optimized. Right optimized means we use this system to capture the information. What is transactional processing? Transactional processing means, what is database transaction? When you perform any insert, when you perform any delete, and when you perform any, insert update, right? So this is called one database transaction. That is why all the time these systems are busy in either you are inserting the information, either you are updating the information, either you are deleting the information. That's why these systems are called transactional processing system. Right? These systems we use to run our daily operation. These systems give you, you use for day-to-day operation. So when we use this system, in this system, we don't keep data like for 6 years or 7 years, because we need to run daily operation. We need high, efficiency from these systems. So what we store data only for 6 months or 1 year, maximum for 6 months or 1 year data, right? So whatever the reports you run on this system, you are getting these reports are operational reports. What are the operational reports? Operational reports you just run to make sure, to ensure your daily operations. Right? Let's see, if I have to see my sales, okay, just like I can give you a scenario, like you are working for Walmart. And Walmart has a different stores in different locations. They are operating all over in US, in Canada. Now, I'm just giving you North American market example, right? So certain are a sick unit that we want to close. We are losing money. How we can decide which location, which store, which region we have to close? We're not going to look 6 months or 1 year sales and then we close the store. Maybe this year we are not performing, but last couple of years the store is producing, a good, excellent revenue. So for this we need, history. We need historical data. We need 6-7 year data, right? So we need a system where we have a historical information. Okay, we need history. Okay, then, when I have to perform and I have to look the enterprise picture, I will not rely only on the sales. I might need, with a human resource, how many sales people are there. Okay, related to CRM, I have to combine my CRM data. I have to combine my sales and distribution data. So let's see, I have to combine the data from different modules, from different systems, right? So I'm getting data from, so I need something where I can store this information, right? So we need another data. OLAP system is like another database. Okay, OLAP system is nothing, is just like another database where we integrate, we have a integrated data and we have a historical data. We have a integrated data and we have a historical data. Like we have a 6-7 year data. And this data we use for analysis. This data we use, when we use this data for analysis, it means we are reading the data. and we are creating a report. Who used that system, OLAP system? The management. Who took the strategic decision? The management. But what is the difference between OLTP system and OLAP system? Basically, there is an architectural difference. These systems, when we build, they build to capture the information. When we build this system we build for reading purpose. Okay, how we load the data by using different, ETL tool, we can bring the data into the OLAP system. And in OLAP system, we have a historical information and we have an integrated information. When we talk about integrated, mean data from different modules. When we talk about historical, we have a 6-7 year data. So it means we have a huge amount of data in this system. Okay, the second architectural difference is these systems are subject oriented. These systems are application oriented. Okay, here we have a less table, more column. When we have a more tables, less column, then we need, if I have to run a report, I need more joining conditions. This is a database rule, n-1. If I have a 10 table to join, 10-1, I need 9 joining conditions. Okay, when you run the query on the system, the query performance is slow. Right? So this is the OLAP system. In OLAP system, we use for analysis. OLAP system we use take the strategic decision. OLAP system we use how we can set the future strategy of our company. What is BI? Business intelligence, right? Let me give you an example. Okay, I face this I'm giving you a real-time scenario, I was working for one company. Okay, we were working for oil and gas company. We built their asset health repository, the database. After that, I got a project in company and I'm not getting the product. Let me give you the scenario. You guys know RIM? No?
Yep.
You know Google? Okay, you know Apple? You know iPhone? Okay, you know Android? Okay, you know BlackBerry? Now you know. BlackBerry is the first in the smartphone industry. It's a Canadian-based company. It's a Waterloo-based company in Canada, 1.5 hour drive from Toronto. Okay, that is called Research in Motion. They are the pioneer in the smartphone industry. In 2007 and 8, when Apple came with the iPhone, Google came with the Android, right? That time I got a contract with this company. After getting 4 interviews, I was not getting the project. Okay, I thought this is the time, the smartphone industries, they are moving, they are hiring employees. Okay, and what's wrong? They laid off 2,000 people. 2,000 professionals they laid off. Because that time this company is losing money. Okay, who is a pioneer in smartphone? By the time the smartphone industry is booming, they are losing business, and these people who just jump into it, they are hiring employee and they have a billions of surplus. What was the problem? The problem is RIM is in a smartphone. They always focused on the business. They never go into the consumer market. By the time Google and Apple came, they captured the consumer market. Their share is always like $200. But that time their share price dropped down to $7 per share. Right? So if you look, what is the problem? They never focused on the consumer market. What is business intelligence? Okay, it's just like you are driving a car with GPS or map, or you are driving a car without GPS or without a map. When you are driving without GPS, without map, you are not at your destination. This is a competitive market. You have a competitors. If you run your business, if you perform proper analytics, right? When you perform proper analytics, okay, then you can run your business properly. If you don't do it, then what's going to happen? Because you have a competitor, either you lose business, either you are out of business. So now you know what is the importance of the business intelligence. So we use this historical data, okay, we use this information for analysis. We use this information for analysis. Basically, you can say that this is a decision support system that help you in decision making. So who use that system? The management. Right? So now it's clear, what is appliance, what is analytical, and what is high performance. Okay, let's see the next scenario. The next scenario is, okay, this is like, what is the problem? Current IT industry problem. We have a different systems. We have a different devices. Different systems, just like, we have a lot of different applications. We have a different devices like GPS, mobile, tablet. We have a different way to communicate, email, instant messaging. Okay, we have a different types of social media. All they produce information. Right? All they produce one thing that is called data. Okay, so information explosion is the big problem. Okay. IDC, that is an institute, they estimated, in 2009, they estimated we have 487 billions of gigabytes. And they predict this will be double in 18 months and every 18 months thereafter. So they predict, how much data we have. It's just like in a layman term, they said it's like a stack of DVDs all the way to the moon and back. In 2009, they were using this term, but now they are using Mars. How much data we have. Okay. So information explosion is the big problem and it's getting bigger. We have people have a consumerization. We have consumerization of IT. Everyone depend on IT. When you have to take a decision making, okay, when there is a real time at the moment of risk and opportunity. Customer expect business experience to be as satisfying as, their personal experience. So we need instant correct answer to any question. So everyone rely on IT. So what is the problem? Problem is IT cannot deliver. Why IT cannot deliver? Because it's a cost-effective management of the large data volume. Immediate answer to any question. If you have to answer immediate, suppose I have to do analysis, then I can answer the question. I have to get data from different systems. Right? Just like I have to combine HR, I have to combine my CRM, I have to combine my SD. Okay, I'm evaluating my sales within a different region. So I have to get this data by using this ETL tool. Okay, bring into the OLAP system. Suppose I have to bring this data here first. Okay, look here. So I will bring this data into my OLAP system. Then first I have to do extract. Then I have to transform and load the data in this system. So when I'm bringing this data, so I have to, this data is called batch loading. Batch loading means I have to schedule my job. So I will not run all the time data. I'm loading the data in this system monthly. Okay. So if I'm loading the data in this system monthly, so I have a 1 month missing information here. If I'm loading the data weekly, still I have 1 week missing information here. If I'm loading data daily, still I have a 24-hour missing information here. So whatever the reports I run on this system, okay, it's not a real time. It's a near real time, right? So because these are the operational system. During the daytime, we are using these systems. When we load off-peak hours. Mostly at the night time, off-peak hours when the systems are not fully utilized. So we use this ETL job during the daytime because all systems are busy in capturing the information. We don't do the extraction that time. We do extraction off-peak hours. So we have to schedule the job to bring the data within the system. So whatever the reports we are getting, that's not the real time. It is a near real time. So the problem is IT cannot deliver immediate answer to any question. It's not possible because we need some time to extract the data, to transform the data and to process the data, and after that we have to create the report to answer your business question. Okay, so this is the problem. So IT cannot deliver. This put IT in a tough place. IT cannot deliver what the business needs. Why? Because the cost of managing the data explosion is too high. There is no practical way to instantly analyze everything that's going on relative to the business. Yes, IT can deliver some of the information. The most critical slice of the information can be delivered in a near real time. This is what I said, right? But it is not enough because data is growing and demand is increasing. So now so far we discussed what is HANA is. We discussed, what is the current IT industry problem. Okay, we have to go toward the solution. Okay, let's go toward the solution. So what is the solution? Your reality with SAP HANA. Why? Because SAP HANA is a groundbreaking in-memory innovation. And you have access to the real-time access to the transactional data. And it is 3600, it will give you 3600 times faster analytics. Right? So your reality with SAP HANA. Okay. This is the proof points from SAP HANA. SAP process, you will get 3600 times faster reporting speed with SAP HANA. SAP process 460 billion of data record analyzed in less than a second. Right? To resolve this industry problem, we need two things. We need an amazing speed. Okay, we can process amazing amount of data. Let's use this example in a layman term. An average human person can run with 7 miles per hour, with a speed of 7 miles per hour, right? But if you increase the speed of this human 3600 times faster, what would be the speed? The speed will be the 25,000 miles per hour, right? And human traveled with this speed. When? In 1969, when they went to the moon on Apollo 10. So all your traditional databases, when I'm talking about traditional databases like Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, other databases, right? They travel like, I'm not saying they travel 7 miles per hour, they fall under this category, and this is SAP HANA. So now you know what is the role of SAP HANA. SAP HANA is not just a new database. That's what I want to realize, you guys. SAP HANA is not just another new database. SAP HANA is the solution of your current IT industry problem. Right? So just imagine, we process 460 billion of record in less than a second. That's what I said. To resolve this problem, we need two things. Amazing speed that we have in SAP HANA. Right? That we have in SAP HANA. We need amazing, one thing, we need amazing speed. Second thing, we can process amazing amount of data. We have in SAP HANA. So SAP HANA is not take it as another database. SAP HANA is the solution of your current IT industry problem. Okay, some people said how SAP is going to implement this SAP HANA. Right? How SAP is going to market this product. These are hardware vendors, that SAP has. They have a very strong hardware vendors. So how SAP is going to implement this product? If you look SAP as is and to be model. Right now, if you look all SAP, okay, if you look, this is all SAP. We have, different OLTP system in SAP. These are called business application, right? Just like we have a HR, okay, we have a FI, financials, okay, we have a sales and distribution, we have over 22 modules, a lot of other solutions from SAP, okay, we have a material management. If you look HR, that is running, what is the as-is model? It's running on Oracle or SQL Server database. FI, it's running on Oracle and SQL Server database. SD is running on Oracle and SQL Server database. SAP OLAP system, I'm not saying on HANA, it is running on Oracle, SQL Server and DB2 database, right? So all your OLAP system, SAP OLAP system and OLTP system, they are running on the Oracle, SQL Server or DB2 databases. What's happening in near future? SAP is going to replace all this DB layer. Okay, all this DB layer, they are going to replace with SAP HANA. This is the SAP HANA. Okay, they are going to replace with SAP HANA. So when SAP is going to replace this DB layer, what's gonna be happen? So they're gonna take out this guy, bring this guy here. Right? Same thing is happening with all the application. Right? Your HR, okay, right, your FI, okay, your SD, okay, your MM, like all other modules, similar like, they're gonna be replaced. There's no more SQL Server DB2. They will work on HANA. Okay, they will work on the HANA DB. Okay, they are going to replace with HANA. That is why you heard about, S for HANA and, V for HANA. If BW is running on HANA, that is called V for HANA. Okay. And if all your business application like FI running on HANA, that is also called simple finance, simple sales and distribution, simple material management, right? S for HANA. So if you look in the future of SAP, if I take out V for S for, what is left? Left is HANA. If I take out V for HANA, S for HANA, what is left? Actually HANA. So in SAP has a plan up to 2025, they are going to replace this DB layer, with SAP HANA. So if you look next 10 to 5 years, lot of projects gonna be in the market for SAP HANA. Right? Because SAP, you guys know what is the SAP. SAP is the product every Fortune 500 company they are using. Insurance sector, manufacturing sector, okay, telecom sector, pharmaceutical sector, okay, oil and gas sector. Just take any industry, financial sector, they are all using SAP. Right? If you just imagine how many implementation of SAP we have in North America, we have thousands. So when we have this major migration, how many projects gonna be in the market? Okay, who will we get hired first? The people who are in the American market, North American market. Right? So you always to be ahead of the curve. Okay. Join the product, learn the product, okay, while it is in its maturity stage, right? Because if you are ahead of the curve, at some point you are not in the crowd. But if you join after 5 years, 10 years, lot of people gonna be in the HANA. Then people have a 10-year, 5 years experience. SAP HANA is just few years in the market. And initially it was in the evaluation phase. Now people are implementing HANA. Right? When people are implementing HANA, there's one thing, right? You guys come from the background like testing. Okay? Why not you learn FI, functional module? Why you learning HANA? Why not go in FI module? Why not learn MM module? Okay? Why you are going into HANA? Why not go into FI? Because FI module is how long in the market? Last even 25, 30 years in the market. Since early 70s, when SAP they have these R3, FI, SD and MM here. So if you learn, you come, people already have experienced. Right? But when you come into HANA, and these people join HANA, they can't claim they have a 20 years, 30 years experience in HANA. Why? Because this product is new. You are new, product is new, so nobody gonna ask you 30 years experience in HANA. Because this product is just newborn. Okay? Initially it was in a evaluation stage, now it is getting into the market. So this is the right time to jump into this area. Okay? When you jump into this area, because you are new, all companies, they are implementing HANA, they are new. All the consultants are new. All the consulting companies are new. When everybody is new, there is a lot of gray area. Okay, so that is the right time to jump into this product. Okay? And just imagine, when SAP is going to replace this DB layer, how many implementation of SAP HANA we have in the market, and how many SAP implementation we have, Based on that, you can imagine how many projects going to be, then how many consultants they need. So I don't need to determine the scope of SAP HANA in the future market. You can determine based on the implementation. You can just search out, don't go on my words, just search out in the Google and see what is the future of SAP HANA. You know, in SAP history, after R3, like, you know, the basic function modules, this is the first time in SAP history, SAP is spending huge amount of money on this product, right? And SAP, second advantage is SAP, you know, paying billions of dollars, SQL Server, okay, Oracle, DB2. You know, right now they're using these databases. You know, SQL Server is not SAP product, it's Microsoft. Oracle is not SAP product, Oracle Corporation. DB2 is not, it's a IBM. So SAP is paying billions of dollars to these third-party vendors. Now SAP is not going to pay any more the billions of dollars to these third-party vendors. SAP is spending the same billions of dollars on their own product. You know, when they have the right solution, when they have the right product, okay, that is why they are implementing all the DB layer for OLAP system, for OLTP system. Okay, based on that, you can determine the future, the scope of SAP HANA. You can determine how many jobs going to be in the market, right? And who going to get hired first, who are in the market, who are in the North American market, right?
Sorry,
So,
a couple of questions.
sure.
Do you want me to ask them now or later?
No, you can ask me. Anytime you can interrupt me and ask questions.
Okay, thanks. So you said like probably with the SAP implementation plan of SAP HANA, the SQL Server, Oracle, and DB2 databases, they're probably not going to be used, right? So as competition is, like, they would also probably come up with something, right? So do you think like what we are envisioning, like HANA is going to take over everything, or do you think these guys are going to put up lot of resistance and probably come up with the alternative?
Okay, good question. Just tell me, how many customers we have SAP in North America? Thousands.
I don't know.
Thousands. How many implementation? Thousands of implementation we have on SAP. Okay, as I said, none of the, you know, government sector, financial sector, you know, insurance sector, pharmaceutical sector, oil and gas sector, you know, none of the sector can run without SAP. They are using SAP. It is the ERP, enterprise resource planning, you know, even your retail sector. So when SAP already has an established client and this is the SAP product and it is the right solution in the market, right? They don't need to market this product, right? They have already their established client, right? Then even if they come, they are the competitors, right? No, because even if they come into the market, but for SAP application, these are the SAP applications, MMSD, all these are SAP applications. So these are the SAP application. What is HANA? HANA is also an SAP product. SAP will use their own product, right?
Yep.
Okay. So it's not like, you know, it took like a couple of years to replace this. Up to initially they have a plan 2020. Then they know that is not feasible. They change it to 2025. Right? This is a major breakthrough in SAP industry. It's not gonna, even if they come right now, you know, SAP. Look here, in SAP history, SAP always focused on the application side. They come like FI. They come like CO, you know, controlling. They come with it, you know, MM. They come with SD, you know, they come with Hybris, like, you know, the e-commerce platform. Okay, they come with like a warehouse management. If you look, you know, they always have, you know, they focused on the application. If you look, SAP since in the market 1970, early 70s, right? So in SAP history, SAP never focused on the DB layer. This is the first time in SAP history they focused on the DB layer. And they come with the right product at the right time, right? So when they have, that is their own implementation. Okay. Yes, I can answer your question. Just, you know, when I cover what is in SAP HANA, that time I can answer your question. You know, how much efforts you need for SAP certified. Okay. So look here, you know, when SAP never focused, you look here, you know, FI, they are using third-party databases. They are using Oracle, DB2, you know, SQL Server. So they never focused on the DB layer. This is the first time in SAP history they focused on the database layer, right? So this is not like tomorrow if Oracle comes, this is the SAP application. When SAP has their own product, okay, they will use their own DB layer. And they're they're spending billions of dollars on this product, because they were paying billions of dollars to these third-party vendors.
So all this money was being paid by SAP or the client to the third party like Oracle, IBM, and all that?
Even if it's SAP is using the backend database, right?
Okay. Yeah. So pretty much SAP is kind of paying all those to use their databases, and now it's going to get.
When I'm giving you an integrated solution, so I'm paying to these vendors, right?
Yep.
Okay. So let's go to the next. Now we know the future of SAP, right? With market point of view, with job point of view, what is SAP HANA, how SAP HANA will stay in the market, and how, this is what we discussed. Let's see what is in SAP HANA. Now we are going more towards the product. Okay, what is in SAP HANA? In SAP HANA, okay, this is the end-to-end implementation of SAP HANA, right? If you look on this slide, so first thing, what is in SAP HANA? In SAP HANA, first, you have the requirement phase, right? Every project has a requirement phase. After requirement, we know we have to bring the data. Okay, suppose you are getting the data from SAP into, ECC into SAP HANA, right? I need this data by using these different methods, bring into SAP HANA. So when we bring this data in SAP HANA, that part is called data provisioning. Data provisioning means how we feed data to SAP HANA. Okay, when I have a data in SAP HANA, the next point is I will do the modeling. Information models. I will create information models. Like I will create attribute view, analytical view, and calculation view. Okay, to bring the data, we have a different methods. We will use SLT. We have a BODS, Business Object Data Services. This is the ETL. This is a batch. Batch job is SLT is a real-time replication. This is a batch loading. DXC. This is like the SAP standard. Okay, we have a flat files and we have a SDS Smart Data Access. We have different techniques to bring the data. We will discuss all these techniques throughout this course. One by one, we will take all and we will discuss all. Okay, here I'm giving you just the overview. Okay, when we have the data, this is the raw data. Okay, this raw data we store in SAP HANA under catalog in your schema. Then we create different information models. We will create attribute view, we will create analytical view, we will create calculation view, right? So in near future, SAP is saying we will create only one type of view, that is like calculation view. It's very powerful. Okay, so why we use this view? Why we create? Here we model the data. Okay, and after this, when we create this information model, we will consume this information model in our reporting to answer the business question. Right? So how we consume? Let me show you how we can. Different reporting tool gonna consume this data. Look here, we have a data in SAP HANA. This is the model data, right? Okay. This is the model data. Now look here, there are the different reporting tools, right? You connect these reporting tools, backend language is SQL, right? Only one tool using MDX, that is a multi-dimensional expression. Okay, these tools use that language and you can answer different questions. These are the different. This is more like ad hoc reporting, web intelligence. Dashboard is like more visualized, right? You have a design studio. Some people are more comfortable with the Excel, right? This is like analysis for Office, analysis for OLAP, SAP Lumira, more like creating a documentation, right? We have a predictive analysis. We have a crystal report, like more pixel or formatted reports, right? So we have a different reporting tool to answer your business questions. So these tools will connect to SAP HANA, and you can just, when you run the report, you don't have to do anything. You just do drag and drop, right? And run the query. Backend SQL will be written by these tools, and you can answer the business question. So now you know what is the end-to-end implementation. In end-to-end implementation, we have first part we have this data provisioning. Data provisioning means feeding the data to SAP HANA. Bring the data in SAP HANA, then how we create the information models, and then we are creating a report. What is the benefit of this modeling, right? Why we need this information modeling? Look here, what is the structure? The old structure is, let me open another PowerPoint. I have to show you some pictures. 1 minute, please. Look here, what is the old way, how we build the application, right? When you build the application, right, this is the database, right? Data provider, the raw data. We are sending the raw data to the application, right? So we are sending the raw data. If we have to perform a filter, we are performing at the application layer. If we have to perform the join, we are performing at the application layer. If we have any kind of aggregation, we can perform aggregation at the application layer. If you have any calculation, you are performing at the application layer. So your application layer is more complex. What is the role of the database here? Just giving you the data, sending the data back and forth, right? So DB layer's simple job is just to provide the data, where you implement all your business logic on the application layer, right? So your application layer is very complex. Let's see what is in case of SAP HANA. In case of SAP HANA, okay, when we implement these views like analytical calculation or these views, these are the database. Okay, here we provide the data. On the top of this data, first we implement this information models. These information models where we implement all business logic. Look here, where you are implementing your application logic on the DB layer, which is very fast. If you perform your application, if you perform your logic at the application layer, so your data has to travel back and forth to the database. You get the data, after performing, you send the data back. You get the data, then you send the data back. Like it's a backward upward operation. Okay? Backward and forward operation, you have to send the back, you get the data, send the data back, get the data, send the data back. Right? So your application logic become more complex. Let's see in case of SAP HANA, when we are creating these views, okay, here we are using this as a middle layer, right? Where we put this and this is on the top of your DB layer. These views we created on the top of your DB layer. So your data don't have to travel to the application. Okay, only when you have only you will get the refined data. Okay, only you get the refined data. So what is data ready to use? You will get the data ready to use. So your application is have a more simplified application code. Okay, your application has a more simplified code, right? So the application code is simplified because it does not have to deal with a large number of data processing tasks. These tasks are pushed down to SAP HANA. The processing on the data is carried out where data resides. So we don't have to move the raw data from the database to the application. We only move the result. The data processing is carried out in memory. So very fast response times are expected. We are not dealing with the traditional, the disk structure, like hard disk structure. We are processing the data in the RAM. When you are processing the data in the RAM, so you are getting only, we move up to the application level, we move only the results. Okay, the data processing is carried out in a memory, so very fast response times are expected. Okay, so the information view can be reused in multiple applications. It's not just only it's one use because it's reused. So what is the major shift in the development? Okay, look here. Let's see what is the major shift in the development, okay, with SAP HANA. Okay, before, how it works. Okay, look at how it works before, right? How it works now. Okay, sorry guys, I'm writing with the mouse. Okay, so let me divide this in half, right? This is your DB layer. You guys are doing testing application, right? You know this set. So this is the DB layer and this is the application layer. I divide it into half, right? Old way is everything is happening on the application layer. Your processing, filters, joins, calculation, aggregation, everything is happening on the application layer. So your DB layer is thin, your application layer is thick, mean like a more complex. Okay, and data has to travel back and forth, right? Back and forth. You have to get the data after performing the operation. You have to store the data on the database in the database. Let's see what is happening with SAP HANA. With SAP HANA, because your data sitting in the database. On the top of this, you are building the business. All the business logic you are implementing on the top of this database, right? On the top of these tables, we are building your business logic. Now you are sending to the application only the result. Your business logic is sitting on the top of the DB layer. Okay, so in this case your DB layer is thick and your application layer is thin. So your application is not complex. Here your application layer is more complex. Okay, so there is a major shift. What is the major shift with SAP HANA? Here you are sending the data to the code, right? Ajit and GD, you guys doing testing, right? Here you are getting the data in the application, right? You are sending the data to the code. Here you are sending code to the data. Here you are getting only the result. Here you get the data, produce the result, then store this result in the database. Right? Lot of traveling. So we reduce this lot of traveling with SAP HANA. That is the major shift in SAP. If you are building the native application on the top of this database, right? Okay. So now you know what is the scope of this product, right? If you look other application versus this, now you know the scope of this product. Right? Okay. This is what I explained. Here your application is more complex. Database role is just to send out the information, right? And here your application role is very simple. Your DB layer is more where you have. So here data is already sitting here. All your business logic is here. You are sending only the result. So it's a simplified application code. Guys, what I said so far is clear?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, let's go, because it's a first session, I am just giving you the all overview. We will discuss everything in detail when we will going into our regular sessions, right? Okay. I'm giving you any project. Let's see, how SAP HANA is implemented. Let me give you I'm giving you a practical example, like industry example, right? Let's see, you guys know, you build the application, everyone is experienced, right? Any project start with the requirement phase, right? First, the business have a certain business questions that they have to answer, based on that, just like, the business people, they want to see the volume, gross revenue, sales cost, net revenue, production rate, contribution margin, expenses, based on the region, for each country, within each country, for each city. So they are looking, then they want to see the total of the country, total of the region. Okay, so based on this, they need that we have to answer this business question, right? So then, look here, this is the second report. They want to see the comparison. They want to see current year and last year. That way, how they can see the variation. When they have the current year information, okay, current year sales and last year, they can see the variance. Let's see the third one, okay. Every company have a quarter-to-quarter planning, right? So they plan this quarter one, they want to see they plan what is the volume, what is the gross revenue, what will be the sales cost, right? Okay, based on the different filters, right? And at the end of every quarter, they have the actual, right? Before the quarter, they have the planned data. End of the quarter, they have the actual data. How they can see the variation? Okay, actual minus, they can see the variation, right? how much they plan and how much is actual. Based on this variation, they can plan the next quarter, right? Based on this, they can, so that way they know. Just like what is like, when you travel, I'm giving you a layman example. When you travel, you thought like you're gonna spend on the food like $100, on the traveling $200, right? But on your, on your accommodation, you're gonna spend not more than $400. But at the end of the trip, you feel like you spend like $200 for the food, okay, $90 for the, food, traveling, and over $700 in the accommodation, right? So that way you know how much you overspend, where you less spend. So next plan trip when you plan, so based on, you can say, no, I need this budget, okay, for this trip. So same way, every company has a quarter to quarter planning. Okay, they have the plan before the quarter start. At the end, they have the actual data. Based on this variation, like they can plan, all their quarterly planning, right? So this is what they want to see. So for these reports, we have to look, first of all, what type of this data is. It's like a profitability analysis, right? So there is a one module in SAP ECC, it's called controlling. Before, FICO was a one product. Then they split in FI as a separate, CO as a separate, controlling. And that is another module. They have the one module that is called profitability analysis. So that is not your job. This is the functional people job. They will let you know, okay, so profitability analysis, right? Yes. This is the profitability analysis. From this module, we need the following tables, right? We need these tables like MARA, MAKT, KNA1, country table, region table, actual and plan table, We need, here we store all our product information, here we store all our customer information, right? So first part is we have to move this data from our source system into the target system, right? So this is just like, I'm giving a real-time project implementation example, right? So we bring the data, after that we create, then we design the models, right? We have a different information, we need different information models, right? So we will create, this is the customer information model. Based on, we have to combine these, customer, country and regions. Here we have to, combine product and this. And after that, we have to create these views. And after that, we have this business, we have these information models. Then we will consume these information models, just like as I show you in the reporting. Okay, we will use this information model to answer the business questions. Okay, I will show you practically. Okay.
So, Swami, one quick question. So,
Sure, yes.
So how do we do this information model? You're going to show us in the subsequent sessions, right?
No, yes, subsequent session. In this session, I will show you very quickly, right? I will show you in the system.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So this is like, that how when you have these information model, how this different application consuming these information models, right? Let's see, it's too much theoretical. Let's go to the system, right? So in system, look here. First, we'll log into this system. How are you going to log into this system? We will give you this complete box, right? You will get this box through remote desktop, right? So through remote desktop, you will enter your password. Okay, we will give you this username and password and IP address. You will connect through our system, and then you can do the practice. So let me log into SAP HANA Studio. This is like a more visualized tool. SAP HANA is not a script based. SAP HANA is a GUI based. GUI means graphic user interface. Okay, let me log into SAP HANA.
Sammy, while it loads, so the SAP HANA Studio, and what's the difference between SAP HANA and SAP HANA Studio when we say that? It's just a GUI? It's called the Studio?
Okay, let me give you, SQL Server, right?
Yeah.
SQL Server has a management studio, right?
Oh, okay, so it's just...
Same thing like this. Look, it is very simple. As compared to SQL Server, it's very simple. Look here, this is how SAP HANA looks like, right? So look here, in SAP HANA, we have a catalog. Under catalog, we have all the schema. In all these schemas, we have, in all these schemas, we have, just like as I said, we need these tables, but the project I show you, we have here, right? We have all the tables. We will bring the data, okay, by using, different ETL tool, we will bring into SAP HANA, right? When we have data in SAP HANA, okay, you can view your data anytime. Just like look here, KNA1, that is the customer master, ambiguity, that is the material description. You can open and preview data. You can see the definition of your data. You can preview the data, right? You can same way, just like other databases, you can preview the definition, open the definition, right? You can see the contents, you can see the definition, how many tables, what is the data type, all these things. When we move data, we bring data in SAP HANA under catalog in your schema, right? So when you have a data in SAP HANA, this is what I explained. Let me show you. What I explained, replicate with my picture, with my, okay. So, okay, the first thing is, we bring the data from different system into SAP HANA. Now we have a data in SAP HANA, right? The next part is, look at, this is the contents. In contents, look at, this is very simple, if you look. So here we have very simple, right? Let's see. I can use, you are creating a package. Within this package, first we create these views, right? Attribute view. Okay, this is a product. Let me show you. I can see the data preview. So this is the product. Okay, this is the attribute view. If you see, this is the data. All information related to your product, right? And then this is the related to the customer locations, right? Different region. You can see the data preview for different customers, right? This is the raw data. This basically we keep master data separate. And then we create analytical view. Analytical view basically it's give you cube-like structure. Right? Let's see. We said we have a planned data, we have an actual data. Okay. If I open my actual, okay, how it's look like? Okay, this is my. If I open model, it's look like this, right? Okay. Can you see this is the one? Okay, I have this is my master data is. Okay, here my master data, this is my transactional data, this is my master data. Okay, by how I am combining this, how I am joining this, because these are the different dimensions, right? Look here, these are the different dimensions. I am combining this data, because when I am combining this data, I am getting a cube-like structure. Can you see it look like a cube here? Okay, let me explain you what is the master data and what is the transactional data. Okay, can you see this example? Okay. Okay, look here, I want to analyze my sales revenue. I'm giving you a very simple example, right? I want to analyze my sales revenue. Company want to see the sales, right? Where they are performing. So they have when they want to see the sales, they have the different products, right? And they are selling in this product to the customer. Customer are residing in the different regions, in sub-regions, in the different countries, right? So, product names are not changed so frequent, right? And this is a descriptive data. We keep this data in the separate table that's called dimension data. What is my dimension? My dimension is product name. Okay. Region name still USA, last 20 years still USA. California, it's not changed every frequent, right? Just like when you order you have the products. When you go into Walmart, all the time the product names are same. Sometimes it's changed, but it's not changed so frequent. But all the time when you order different quantities, right? Same product you can order multiple times, right? So this is the data. This is called transactional data. The data that is changed frequently. That is called the transactional data. Okay. So we keep our master data in a separate table and we keep the transaction table here. So in our dimensions, these are called dimensions. What we are going to evaluate, that is the sales revenue. What we are going to evaluate with respect to, like I want to see my sales revenue with respect to the region name. This is called dimension. This is a descriptive data. I want to analyze my sales revenue with respect to the product name. So product name is your dimension, is a descriptive data. So this is what you are analyzing. This is what you are analyzing with respect to. Okay. So this descriptive data is called dimension. This numerical data is called measures, fact. Okay. Because this is the one you are evaluating. Okay. Look at this. You can evaluate your sales revenue with respect to product, with respect to region name. Okay, you can see who is the best customer in that region. You can see in which quarter you are selling more. I have to take certain decisions where I have to push more sales force. Okay, where I have to need more hiring. What is the best time where I need more salespeople? I'm not going to hire to sell the refrigerator in Canadian in the eastern side. Okay, when it's the winter time. It's already cold there, right? I'm not going to sell the product, right, that is not needed by that time. So I'm going to analyze my sales revenue. What is the best time to sell? What is the best region to sell? Who is the best customer? What is the best product to, right? So if I have to take, how I'm going to take that decision based on my sales revenue, how I'm performing in different regions, how I'm performing, which product I'm selling more. Certain product I have to discard because I'm paying more money on the logistics by making the less revenue. Right? Who is the best customer and what is the best time to sell? So when I'm analyzing this, so I keep my dimension data, master data out. I keep my, this is my transactional data. Right? These tables are called fact table. These tables are called dimension table. Okay, every dimension table, your all product has a unique ID because this product name. But this product you can order multiple times. So that's why we will repeat same product many times. Okay. So this is like called parent-child relationship. All product dimension table hold the dimension IDs, and all fact table hold all your dimension ID as a foreign key. Right. So based on that, I can figure it out how much I am performing this sales. To bring these dimensions, right? To bring this, so I am analyzing my sales revenue with respect to these dimensions. So to bring these dimensions with evaluate, I have to link these tables. When I'm linking these tables, okay, it's give me look like a star schema. Can you look? It's look like a star. That is called star schema. Okay, it is giving me multi-dimensional analysis. It's giving me cube-like structure. What is your cube? Cube is look like a multi-dimension. So that way you can analyze your sales with respect to region, with respect to product, with respect to customer, with respect to time. Right? So here, when we create this, right, we have transactional data. Okay, I'm implementing my business logic here. We have a transactional data, and this is my master data. And I'm joining these tables, right? So now I can evaluate based on this, I can do the analysis. Let's see, we can do the analysis. Let me go to the data preview. Look here, now I want to analyze, okay, this is my country, like Lendex is the country. Okay, I want to see net revenue in each region. This is a net revenue, right? Let's use this, right? This is pie chart, so I can see where I'm getting more revenue is the Germany. Where I'm getting a less, I'm getting in Italy. Correct? Okay. So let me give you another simple example. If I have this. So let's see now, this is for plan. Okay, so I can see this. This is the, country. In each country, who is the best customer? I want to see this. Let's see. I want to analyze based on this. Right? It's too much. Let's go to the grid. I can see that. So in Australia, these are my customers. Right? I can put the second dimension. I can see the net revenue. Okay. So look at within this country, these are the customers. Right? And what is the product I am selling? I can put the product here. This is the product. Right? So in Australia, this is my customer and what product I am selling. So right away you are getting the answer. These dimension, okay, now you are analyzing your net revenue based on this. Okay, you can get net revenue, you can see the gross revenue. You can see the gross revenue. Okay, you can put the the sales reduction, how much sales reduction you have. So that way you are producing all these reports, right? So now you know what is the benefit of implementing this business logic here. Okay, you can do the quick analysis. Let's see how different reporting tool consume this data. Okay, let me start this. Let me go to, these are the different, I will use web intelligence rich client, right? How easy, when you have to run the reports, you have to create, you have to deliver, how easily you can get the data. In few minutes we will wrap up, right? Okay, let's see. This is the reporting tool. I'm going to connect. Okay. I'm using someone. If it's not working, I will get I'm using some students. Okay, here is not a descriptive name. Let me use, another. So this is the business. I will use a business layer. Let me log out. Okay, how the business people, now this, look here. We have this, these are the different dimensions. These are the different measures, right? I want to see a report where I need the country name. Okay, look here, what I'm doing, country name. I need the net revenue, right? So I can want to see the gross revenue. Okay, I want to see, okay, just run this. Okay, just look what I did. Okay, what I did, I just did, it's not showing, it's similar like Excel. If I click here, I can see the full figures, right? I have to just increase the width. Right? So I can see the net revenue and gross revenue. If you look on the back end side of this, right, there is behind, there's a query is written. Who wrote this query? Because whatever the business logic we implement in HANA, that's why we don't have to do anything here. We just, this is the script written behind this. Because we already created this package, package Pinky, we have this, already created this view. Based on this, view, we are getting this report. Right? For business people, they can get the answer. Just like they can just drag and drop, right? And when we have this report, right, we create this report, okay, we will save this report on the enterprise portal. We will go here, okay, just like save this report, Okay, let me just make this one bigger too, and then we will save, and then I will show you how business people, they will access these reports.
So Sami, when you say we have created views, you mean the information models, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you show that once you are done?
Yeah. I can show you right now. Let's see. Look, this is the information view we created, right? And these are our reporting columns, right? We have the product table, we have the customer table, and we have this our transactional data. We are combining this. This is the way we create, right? And we make the joins, and then it's not like very difficult. It's simple. It's all visuals. I said, if you are having any programming background, there is no programming here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is a module I'm creating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, when I view this, look here. Here I did the quick analysis, right? I did the same thing. I can do this by using this reporting tool. Correct? So now I have this report, how the end user gonna look, right? Let's see. I'm going to save this, save to enterprise. Okay, I will just there is a folder, I can create our folder, right? Our batch folder, right? Okay, there is a folder, you can create this, and here you can save, session 1 reports, right? Maybe you can say suppose we are creating this reports like for the marketing people. This is a marketing department, right? Marketing DEPT department. So in the marketing department, I created this folder. I will say country-wise net and gross revenue. Country-wise net and gross revenue report, right? So I saved it. When I click here, okay, I save this. Look here, this is all technical, like as a HANA consultant, that's your job, right? But the reporting people, they will create the report, right? Now, how the business user, right? Business user, they don't need to learn HANA. Okay, they're not going to learn all the technology. Next, how they're going to look this report? Business people, they're going to go, okay, we have a tool that is called BI Launchpad. It's a portal, right? This is a portal. They will go on this portal. Okay, this is a web portal. Okay, they will go on this portal. Okay, let me just, they log in. It's look on the top, it's like they can view this report anywhere, right? Let me maximize this, right? So they will go on this, and under the documents, look here, they have access. Can you see this is the marketing department, right? This is the one we created, and they can go on this report. They will just click and run. They can see the report. Okay, they don't need to go HANA, they don't need to go web intelligence. These are all technical tools. Technical people gonna deal this. The business people, they can go and they can see the reports. Okay, now let's come back, and then I will close the session. Now what we discussed, this is in an end-to-end implementation of SAP HANA. We bring the data in SAP HANA. Okay, then we create the information models where we implement the business logic on the top of this DB layer. Okay, and then we use different reporting tools, they connect, and then, okay, we will deliver the result to the business people. And we are using the tool for HANA is HANA Studio. This is a GUI tool. Right? Now guys, I am here to answer your questions, right? Okay, this is the result, right? Okay, yes, if you have a question, I am here to answer.
So why do they mention in forums that you need to know programming Java or something to know HANA and all that stuff?
No.
Not right,
if you're
right?
going in development, right? Look here, in HANA, this is, if you're going in development side, right? You're not going in development side, right? If you're going in HANA development, then, yes, you need, because if you're working on the portal or application, you're developing application on the top of SAP HANA, then you need Java.
Okay.
Otherwise,
So what
not required, right?
Okay, so what are we doing? Like, because I just don't still have that clear distinction between this, and I know probably Abhijit knows more, but sorry to waste your time. But like, we are learning SAP HANA, so we are learning only like the non-development portion of it. Like, I'm still not sure about that. I'm clear.
Yes, let me answer this question. It's a good question. So you are look here in this picture. That's why I have this picture. In this picture, what is our role is? Our role is we involve in extraction, bringing the data in HANA, right, from different systems. We were involved in modeling. We involved in reporting. That is the 3 area we will involve.
Okay, so pretty much like ETL, then modeling and reporting.
Reporting, right? This is called data. You can say
provisioning,
data modeling. You can say, but this is called data reporting, right? This is the area.
Okay.
And if you look what we will cover in this course, it is a good question. Let me answer more to let me go back and let me open, be a consultant group, course contents, right?
Yeah.
So pretty much what we are to cover within this course, right?
Yeah, Sami, while you are going there, so just continuing on his question. So,
Sure.
for example, if you are getting into a project, right? So, will you be asked to do all 3 areas like data provisioning, modeling, and reporting, or is it only?
No, good question. When you learn, you will learn everything.
Of course,
Correct?
yes. Mm-hmm.
When you go for interview, they may ask you anything. Correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But when you work, you will do only specific thing. Got it? Because this is not a one-man job, it's a full team work. Then you will work on this. Might be you are only working on this extraction part, that's it. Might be you are working on the reporting part, right? Might be you are working on this. You're not going to do everything. But when you have to learn the whole everything. When you go for interview, they can ask anything, right? But when you work on a specific thing. It's not you are the one, right? It's a big teamwork.
Right.
Okay,
Now looking ahead, right? So, for example, if I am working on data provisioning only, right? Let's say 6 months, 1 year, and then I go for another round of interview, and they say, okay, we need somebody for example, reporting, right? And I haven't done any reporting, but I know how to do that once I go through this course and do some projects on, here or, So, what advantage, disadvantage would be there then? Because I have worked on data provisioning and I have no exposure on the reporting.
Because you have learned everything, right? Yes. First, when we are in this course, so you're learning everything, but when you are in the project, okay, you're right, might be you're working on the ETL layer, might be you're working on the modeling layer.
Correct.
Either you're on the reporting layer, right? So, but in this course, what we are going to cover, let's see, let me show you the course contents, right? Because we are covering the full HANA, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these course contents we will cover. Let me just show you, So, introduction and architecture, after we are covering the data provisioning part, right? All the methods. After this, we are covering the modeling part, right? All these models we will cover. And then we will cover the reporting part required for HANA. If you want to learn more, you want to go on, people are getting only, they don't know, or they know only that this business object tool and they're working. But if you want to go more in detail, then business object, like you have to go in the full course, right? But we will cover what is required for HANA. And then we will cover the user management, something like, up to the development level, whatever you're doing, and security and authorization. And, we will also cover the certification guidelines. Someone asked me this question, So now you know what is in a certification. These are the areas that we are covering. Okay. That will cover your end-to-end implementation. Okay. That will cover your certification exam.
Can we get a job without certification?
Yes. You don't need to be certified.
Okay.
Look here,
Okay.
You have to be a productive. Let me give you an example, You hire me as a SQL server, and when I join your company, I say I don't know SQL server. But I don't know how to do it, but I'm certified. What are you going to keep? You're going to keep me in your company?
No.
You're going to kick me out. Right? You need a productivity. You have to be a productive, right? I call you for my problems, right? So you have to solve. At the end of the day, I say, I know, I can explain HANA, but I don't know HANA. Right?
No, my question was more like...
You have to be productive, right? But certification helps you make your knowledge certified. That way, when you are going in certification, so you are learning things in a sequence, you are putting your more efforts, So because this is a new product that helps you to enhance your knowledge.
Yeah. Would we be covering the implementation part, like for example the HANA implementation, or no?
Yes, what I said, what is our approach? We follow this implementation approach, right?
Okay.
We will look at, there are two ways. The product side, we will cover the product side and we will explain you how to implement this product, right?
Right.
Right?
Because I didn't
So,
see that in the course content, or if I
no,
missed it,
it,
I'm sorry.
course content will give you this product, right? But when we are covering in that way, in the implementation wise, right? Look
Okay.
here, I have this, right? When I start this is the reporting, right? Then look here, these are the reports, and then you have to do for this reports you have to do this extraction, right? This tool you're going to use, right? And that is the next phase. Then the modeling one. Look here, I explain you like how you're going to do the modeling, right? This is the modeling. This is I explain, right? So this is different models you're going to create. This is a design, right, of the models. At the end, you have the same reports, right? Basically, why you are creating these information models? To create these reports, right? Whatever the reports you want. These are the reports basically, right? Look at these are the reports that what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when we work in the implementation way, right?
Probably a bad question to ask, but so you mentioned there's another part of HANA which is like people who do development and all that stuff, right? So how does the job market look like, development versus what we are going to learn, and which is kind of,
Look here, you are going on the business side, right? There is one called administration side, one is the, where the modeling side, HANA consultant, one is like the development side, So at one side, there's one person can handle the whole company, right? You need one admin database.
uh-huh.
When you go on the business side, more people are working, right?
Yes.
Because all the time business have a questions, right? Business have a queries that you have to answer, right? If you go on the development side, yes. Right now, it's not too much development. Right now, it's just people have a different questions. That's like a regular analytical jobs are there.
Okay. So it's more like sorry, go ahead.
Admin versus this modeling and this this part, there's more job on the business side because one admin and how many business people are there. Business has all the time questions. That's the ongoing activities. What I explain here, that is the ongoing activities. All the time business need, they have to analyze, they need this, we have to do that. This is ongoing process. Because one admin can administrate the whole environment, right? But when what you are talking like development, yes, there will be a development job, but right now most jobs are on the modeling side. It's the area what you like. If you like more programming, you can go on that side, the native development, like building the application on the top of SAP HANA.
Yeah, that's really something I'm not too thrilled about. I can do if I need.
It's good you go to the programming side, but at some point after 10 years, 5 years, it's too much, like.
Yeah.
So we like more to be analytics. We like to be more to to answer the business questions rather than going into the programming. So
and also I think it would be better if you can just touch upon the administration side of it too, because this is a new tool, right? And people
can you see here? Look here. We have a user management. We are focusing on the administration, security, and authorization, right?
Okay, that's good because you went fast.
Look
right?
And the architecture is the architecture we will explain. We will explain in production.
I'm sorry, I really don't have much knowledge, but isn't the SAP basis the one which covers all the security and admin kind of stuff?
You don't need. Oh, no, it's not security. We only cover how, suppose, you are, let me give you the security. You created a model. In that model, the salary column is there. Next day, everybody know who is getting how much. So you have to put certain restrictions on the model, Some people can accept it, and only HR people, not the other people. Right? Yeah, authorization and privileges, right? You don't have to be, because you are not the security consultant. There's a security consultant, there's a separate module, separate job, right?
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, basis is mainly like installation, implementation,
Installation. You don't need this.
configuration, all that stuff.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, guys, if you don't have any questions, we will continue in the next session. Okay. Thank you very much for your time,
And the next session is on Tuesday.
Yeah, we can set up. They will let you know, these guys,
Yeah, I think
what is the
Tuesday
best time for the next session.
No, actually, I have proposed like Tuesday,
That's fine. We
Thursday,
can.
this time. I don't know about GD's availability. So if he is available, then we can continue Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, so